Well, hello, hello, hello. Long time no see.
I just want to know what everybody was doing on the plane for the last, well, umpteen days since we've been here. Y'all, we missed you. And
Yes,
here
we
we are.
did.
And here we are. And we've just been cruising at an altitude of 32,000 feet, just flying around. Hello, KMM. It's so good to see you.
Hope everybody had a great Christmas and a happy Hanukkah.
Me too. Me too. It was a very quiet one for me. It was very quiet, and that's a good thing. I'm telling you right now, that's a good thing.
Mine was too. Mine was too. And it was joyful, of course, with the three grandbabies.
And AMM, yours a good Christmas? I hope so. I hope it finds you all good. Uh, Tonight we are not descending, folks. It looks to me like everything is in turmoil, and there's really not any safe place for us to land in right now. It's all crazy. And so I decided that we just have more fun just flying up here at 32,000 feet.
Yep.
Watch us some Amish movies.
Oh, yeah.
I've been
Too
watching.
funny.
I've been watching Amish all day.
Oh, I'm glad you had a good time with your grandson.
You know what? That's what it's all about. Christmas is other than Jesus being born, it's about grandkids and babies. I'm telling you, that's what it's all about.
And family.
Yeah, and family. And family. You're right. There was a few things that happened that I guess we'll talk about tonight.
Some crazy
Crazy things. We were going to land, but we can't land because Russia's talking about taking over Finland and Norway and whatever else they can get a hold of. The Baltic Islands. And
yeah.
Guys, this world is a world gone mad right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that guy in New York that lit that lady on fire before Christmas.
And all she was just laying there. Hello, Norm. Hello. It's so lovely to see you.
They don't even know who she is yet.
This is what I'm saying. Okay, y'all. I'm going to say this. I got, when I get a feeling, Connie, when she's got her feeling and her feelings got to come out, the words got to come out, whether we like them or not. I got to say them anyway. We prayed so hard for our David to get in office, right? And we prayed, and it happened. We got our miracle. It happened. Not that they didn't try to do something to make it not happen, and not that they're not going to do something to keep it from happening.
They're still trying. They're still trying.
But now is the time that we got to keep praying, because for the simple fact that his side is making crazy comments.
Yes.
And comments that I wasn't too happy with being said. And I guess I'll just come flat out and we'll chew the fat about it. But when Elon Musk and Vivek made their comment that we need to import the brighter and the more intelligent in to the United States. So we have the brighter and the more intelligent
for tech.
It really kind of irritated me a little bit, y'all, because what are you trying to say? That we don't have, that there's no intelligent Americans?
Right.
No, I mean, that's kind of the way I took it, and it really kind of slapped my face a little bit. Because I thought, you know what, we've got some very intelligent Americans, and we don't have to go out looking. Why don't you look here? We got 50 states, 51 states if Canada decides it wants to join. And it's like, come on, y'all. We have of 50 states, there's enough intelligent people that they can find the engineers they're looking for. We
Right.
don't have to go out and find them.
Right.
We have to go to other countries and look for them. I don't know. This is the way I kind of felt about it. I'd love to know how y'all felt about how it came across to you, because that's kind of the way it came across to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is that the way you got it too, Linda? Hello,
Yeah.
Little Apple. It's so good
Yep.
to see you. Hope you had a great Christmas.
Yeah, I took it the same way. It's like there is a lot of intelligence here, but if you ever listen to news from abroad, like if you listen to Al Jazeera or if you listen to Sky News from Britain, they label us as fat, dumb, lazy Americans.
And we're not. And I take
And we're
offense
not.
to that, and the
There's a
two
lot. There is a lot of people that are very, very intelligent,
yes,
and
ma'am.
and a lot of us are very motivated. We all have our lazy days. Come on, we do. And
Well, and
all
I'm sure they do too.
right, but where else in the world do you see people as fat? Okay, where else do you see people as fat in the world? I mean, we have people that weigh 6, 7, 800, 900, 1,000 pounds.
Well, though, Linda, that don't you think that has a little bit to do with what they put in our food?
Well, some of it, yeah, but
We're
it's
just
also
addicted to eating.
right. But I mean, here's my theory on that, and it's my theory. My theory is if it was a family member of mine, you can hate me all you want. I'm not cooking you 2 dozen eggs for breakfast and giving you a loaf of bread. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, we kind of are enablers for sure.
And it's like you get 2 large pizzas for dinner. Come on. Nobody needs to eat that much. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would not, and I know people have phones, okay, but they order food. But that food has to get from the front door to that bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's got to take it to them.
So you take one pizza. There you go. Have a good night. Because they can't get out of bed.
Well, yeah, and you know what? It's a health issue too, because those people that weigh that much aren't very healthy.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, anybody. What I think is crazy is if you are 30 pounds overweight, you're obese.
Well, okay. I gotta say, I put on a little bit of weight over the holidays. I gotta say it. And you can see it in this house. But I've been baking, and I've been doing a lot of baking,
right.
and when it's sitting on the table and it's right there for you, it's so easy to grab you a couple while you walk by.
Right.
How many times do you? Yes, ma'am. Royal Apple, this little girl's going on a diet big time.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know what? I got to get away from the chocolate chip cookies. And I make chocolate chip cookies that are chocolate chip peanut butter chip cookies. And I don't make just 1 dozen. I make multiple dozen, and they sit on the table, and every time you walk by, grab me 1 or 2.
I started my diet already. I was really good this year. I only had 4 Christmas cookies.
Oh, well, pin a brownie button on you. I had me about 4 dozen cookies. And then I made divinity and had a pan full of that. And then I'll tell you what, every night I got to sit down to my cinnamon hard rock candy. So, I mean, y'all.
But that's fat free.
Cinnamon hard. Oh, it is not. And so, you know how much sugar goes into hard rock candy? It's all sugar. It's all sugar.
The stuff you buy in the store says it's fat free.
Oh, well, let me tell you something. You got, I don't know if you think 3.5 cups of sugar and a cup of corn syrup. But there you go. That's what it is. And I don't take me just one little piece. I got to take me a chunk about like this and stick it in my mouth. And I can't talk because it's so big and I'm trying to move it around. And it's like, don't talk to me. It'll melt down here in a minute. But I'll be good. I will be good after the first of the year.
Yep, we can do this. Ladies, we can do this.
Yes, we can, and we're going to. All right, we're going to be good. We're going to be good because the Lord don't want to have to bring us up in a crane, if you know what I mean.
That's right.
You know what's sad about some of those guys is, when they go to weigh them to find out what they weigh because they don't know what they weigh, they have to bring in a polar bear scale. Isn't that sad? I mean, really,
They
when
had
you
to bring in a fire truck and hoist them out of the house.
remember that
Yeah.
Geraldo thing, that time they had to take the whole front end of that guy's house out to get him out of there. They couldn't get him out. I mean, come on, y'all.
That's too much. That's what I'm talking about. That's too much.
I have put some weight on, but I haven't gotten to the point yet that they got to get polar bear scale out. But my feet are starting to hurt because so I know that they're starting to carry a little bit too much
Yeah.
weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So we're our moderator, she's probably at the grocery store working. She's at the Piggly Wiggly working. But so we're going to talk about another couple things that is going on. We got wars going on all over everywhere, y'all. I mean, they're breaking out, and Putin's already said he's going to do something before the first of the year. And I know China's going, hey, you know what? If we're going to do what we're going to do, we got to do this before Trump gets in office. Well, from what I see, y'all, we might be flying this plane a little past the 20th. It's kind of scary. Let's say a prayer about that because they're voting this Friday for the Speaker of the House. Now, you realize that if we don't have a Speaker of the House, we can't get a president inaugurated. If there is no speaker,
We'll get it done.
no inaugurate. Well, I don't know because they're all mattering wet hens at Mike Johnson for trying to put that 1,500-page bill in there. I don't know what he was thinking.
Do you know the grand total? This just popped in my head and I apologize.
It's all right. You say what you
Do
want.
you know the grand total that we have given Ukraine?
An ungodly amount.
Because he just gave him another $2.5 billion.
Again, we just gave him 1.37 just recently. Before that,
we have given them $60 billion. $60 billion. Do you know how much they could have done to help the American people with that?
oh, well, they're not thinking about us. Let's talk about something here, y'all.
That
Think
makes
about
me
this.
angry.
Well, let's talk about something right here. All right. So it's obvious that I gotta put this as nicely as I can because it's made me so dang mad I can't stand it. But when Trump left office and we left everything to Biden, did we leave him in an economic crisis? No, we didn't.
Well,
Did
to them, yes, we did.
Well, we didn't because it wasn't. And then let me ask you another thing. Even though we heard for 4 years that they stole it and they cheated, did we try to keep an inauguration for not going through? No, we let it go on. It went on. We handed it over to them, and Biden is selling our wall panels of our wall that are 7 foot wide and 30 feet tall for $5 a panel. Think about that. $5 a panel. You know how much money you can make as a scrap metal person
Oh
on one of
yeah.
those walls, one of those panels. And I guess the reason I'm so mad is it's already paid for. So
Right.
now it's not that you're not going after Trump at this point. Now you're starting to hit my pocket.
Well, I heard that when he first started all this nonsense with the panels, he was auctioning them off starting at $1.
Well, now he's raised it to 5. Big whoop, $4 extra. And it's going to cost us, and we've already paid for it. See, this is what makes me so mad. The American people, taxpayers, have
Right.
already paid for these panels that are
Right.
already made. And he's just letting them go for $5. What? I mean, I sat back when I watched on the auction. They're on the government auction site for $5. And when I was sitting there thinking about that, I thought, when in American history, since George Washington, has there ever been someone trying to, yes, KMM, that's what Biden's doing right now.
Right.
When in American history have we ever tried to sabotage the incoming president so bad? What did Trump do that was so doggone bad that you want to bury him like that? Or are y'all guilty of something that you don't want
Oh,
to
there
say?
you go. That's what it is. They're guilty.
I
And
mean,
they know he knows. And I pray every night that he lets the American people in on what he knows. We need to know. We deserve to know what they did.
well, Trump was on TV just recently, and he made the comment that Vivek and okay, I'm not. I'm really kind of mad at Vivek and
Yeah.
Musk right now,
Yeah.
because you know what about that whole thing, bringing in other people. We're trying to
Right.
get rid of the ones that are here illegal.
Right.
We don't want any other ones in, but they've already gone through a few things as far as the money goes. And Trump was shaking his head, and he said, "If you guys only knew, it would scare you. You guys would not believe what they have spent the money on." And I thought, you better tell us when you get in there,
Right.
because I think we all need to know what's going on and where our money's going. I
But
mean,
it can't come from Trump. It's got to come from somebody else. It's got to
right,
come from somebody else, because they'll say, "Oh, Trump is just blah 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 blah
you're
blah
right,
blah
you're
blah."
right, you're right. But somebody needs to tell us exactly what's going on and where our
Yeah.
money's going to, because I'm not all about spending. Okay, y'all, this is my thing. We're sitting here pouring our taxpayer money into the Ukraine. And then we left all that equipment over there in Afghanistan. And now we're selling the wall off for $5 on a panel. And
What's next? And then he communicated all of those sentences
oh yeah, now we're letting
of
out
pardon.
murderers and people that were on death row. We're going to let them out, y'all. They're going to come out, and I don't know what they're going to do. I guess they need somebody to cause some havoc. Not
But
like
there's
we
not
don't
enough
already have.
in that.
Well, like we don't already have havoc going on over there with those Venezuela people, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, really?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, and then how about this? So after all of it's said and done, and they put Trump in, he's got murders on the streets. He's got 13 million people he's got to round up. And
Right.
speaking of, Clyde wants to be a driver.
All they have to do is really go to slummy areas and they'll find them.
Well, Clyde said he wants to be a bus driver. He wants to be a bus driver to make sure they get to the destination they need to go to. You know, that's what Clyde told me the other day.
Right.
And he just keeps saying it over and over. I don't know if they're paying good or
You know,
what.
at this point, and I know this is scary, but at this point, I would welcome to see military on our streets.
Right?
I would welcome it. I'd
You
be
know,
out there hooting and hollering, go.
it's the big city. I know Clyde is a good man. He is a very good man. And he told me, he said, you know, my New Year's resolution is, and I said, that you're going to drive the truck over the bus over to get these guys out of here. And he said, no, my New Year's resolution is I'm going to get on one night with y'all every week, once a week. And I said, oh, all right. If that's what you'd like to do, then after the first of the year, we'll see if I can't scooch another chair in here.
It'd be interesting. That's for sure.
Well, you know, he's got his part to say, and it would be,
Right.
yeah, you know, and I think that Norm would feel just like everybody else. Let's get a man's opinion in here because you
Right.
know us, you know, they want to the females are, you know, they want a little bit more men in here to hear what they got to say.
Right.
But my thing is, we got all of this crazy stuff going on. They're selling all of our stuff. They're putting us in debt. They're got our food up to the point that it's ridiculous. And then they're going to let out all these people off death row. And oh, and God bless the Carter family because Jimmy finally decided it was time to go see the Lord 2 days ago. You know,
Right.
you know, he didn't have much of a life, so you know, I'm sure he is galloping around with his wife right now, having a good time.
Right.
Um, but you just don't leave an office. An
Oh,
office.
yeah.
You don't leave an office in shambles.
Mm-mm.
Nobody does unless they got an agenda. And the agenda is, well, let's just leave it all messed up and Trump can clean it up.
Right.
And what's going to happen is when he gets in office, they're going to say, well, he's the one that did it.
Right. Right. Exactly. Because that's what they want to do. That's exactly what they want to do.
Set him up for failure. Well, I got news
Yep.
for him. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, this was another good one. Me and Linda were giggling about this. Have you ever? We're going to play this game one night. Have you ever heard of a polar vortex? I mean,
KMM has. I know KMM has.
I've
'Cause
never
she
heard
was
of
in it. She
you
was in
are,
a polar vortex a year or so ago.
was she? But have you
Oh
ever
yeah,
heard about that before
she's up
that?
she's up north here with me.
I never heard of a polar vortex until recently. That they even talked about polar vortexes and what was the other one I told you? What the heck was that? We're gonna get us a what was it called? And I said, "Now what the heck is that?" They got a name for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, they renamed everything.
Well,
Crazy.
okay, so we got a
You know, I think it used to be called an Arctic blast.
yeah, I think that sounds more like it because I think that's what I remember it called. I don't remember it called the polar vortex, but I'm going to tell y'all um,
Yeah,
on
see,
the
KMM has
7th.
it.
Yep, she said that. Okay, so on the 7th of January, y'all get ready for the polar vortex that's going to come down here and hit South Texas. And
With 1,000 feet of snow.
yeah, and Glory Jean, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to predict it. Get ready. South Texas is going to see snow. It's going to see a lot of snow.
Right, Norm, exactly.
Yeah, well, we're getting a polar vortex. We're getting two of them, and it starts on the 7th of July. Up there, up you guys up there in like Wisconsin and Minnesota and up in that area is supposed to be -50. and we're down here going to be 10.
I'll
Now,
take 10
well, 10 is going to be
over
cool.
negative 50.
Well, yeah, I don't want negative 50, but 10 is going to be cold for us. It's going to be really cold.
Well, yeah, you
So,
guys will be freezing your little heinies off.
oh, yeah, we are because we're still wearing shorts right now. It was 82 degrees today. We were happy. Now we're getting ready to kind of join y'all a little bit for us anyway.
Right, right.
So, yeah, y'all get your firewood ready because it's gonna be cold here.
You guys don't have a furnace, do you?
Yeah, we have a furnace. I can
Oh,
turn on
okay.
the furnace, but we're
Oh,
gonna have to run our water because here's the thing: our pipes are not buried very deep. Because if
uh,
we dig too deep, we're gonna hit water. So our pipes are kind of up, not too far from the ground. So we got to run water all night to keep them from freezing. That happened a couple of years ago. Well, good for see. Get your firewood ready, Glorgy, because we're gonna have a heck of a storm. And I'm telling you ahead of time. Just say you heard it here, because it's gonna happen.
that's right.
You know, I told everybody the first snowstorm, I walked outside and I sniffed in the air. You know, y'all people up there from the north that know that snow smell before it snows. I walked outside and I sniffed in the air and I said, "Oh my God, I'm going insane. I smell snow." And I looked at Clyde and said, "Do you smell snow?" And he said, I thought I was losing it. And I said, "I smell snow." And it snowed Christmas Eve here, first time in 103 years.
This Christmas Eve?
No, it was about 10 years ago or so.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to get it this time. Ours isn't going to be Christmas Eve. It's going to be like the 6th, 7th, 8th, right around there of January. So it's coming. It's just a little late because, you know, it's a polar vortex, you know.
We need a giant fan to blow that stuff back.
Right? And it's coming from, hey, Royal Apple, by the way, it's coming from your side of the United States, too. So I want you to know California's getting ready to get really cold, too.
Yeah,
We're
it's
all,
dipping all the way down. The only place where I think it's going to stay a little bit warm is South Florida, like Miami, Fort
no,
Lauderdale.
They already said it's going to cover Florida. In fact, they said it may go all the way down into the Yucatan. It's going to dip that far down. It's like, what do you mean? These people in the Yucatan don't know about no polar vortex.
They certainly don't have shovels either if they get snow.
Well, I'll tell you what happened.
Do you have a snow shovel?
No, I gave mine away with a bow on it about 28 years ago. Do you know that I got to tell you something funny? It's a little story that's kind of funny, but so here in South Texas, where nobody knows anything about no cold weather and no ice on the windshield, when we got that ice on the windshield, nobody knew how to get it off, and there were people. This is oh, now you think it's funny, but you know when you're down here, you never get it. You don't know. They went out there with a bucket of hot water and threw it on their window.
Oh
You know how
no!
many broken windows they had to redo?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like telling that kid, "Hey, go stick your tongue on that pole over there."
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like in Toy Story.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you need to get ready, Royal Apple, because it's getting ready to snow there too. We're all getting ready to get some snow. Everybody, we're having snow all around. We're sharing the wealth here.
You know, though, the way I look at it,
Mhm.
I would rather it dump a foot or a foot and a half of snow and get it out of its system
Right?
than 3 inches and 4 inches and 2 inches and 6 inches and 4 inches and 3 inches. Eh, that's just aggravating. That to us up here in the north, that's aggravating snow.
Well,
I want
that's why
everything to shut down.
well, it's going to shut down if we get an inch. I'm telling you right now, the whole place shuts down. It's funny. Everything shuts down. It's like a ghost town if we get an inch of snow around here.
We need 12 inches or better for stuff to shut down around here.
Oh no, we're if we get an inch, that's it. Everything's shutting down, and they'll bring out the sand trucks.
Well, that's how it was in Virginia when I lived in Virginia. Sunny, bright day, beautiful, not a cloud in the sky. I had my day off from work, and my son walks in the door from school, and I'm like, "What are you doing home?" And he's laughing, and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "There's a snowstorm coming, Ma." And I'm like, "What?" He said, "They sent us home from school because there's a snow." Do you know we got about an inch of snow, and the schools were closed the next day too.
Well, it's going to be closed down if we get an inch of snow. And there's a big. We got what they call the Harbor Bridge. It goes from one city to the other because it goes over the channel. And we're getting a new bridge if they ever get it fixed. But they'll shut that thing down too. So there's no going across that bridge. We'll have to, if you have to work on that side, you're not going to work. Or if you work on this side, you ain't going to work. There ain't no going around it.
Yeah.
So we're ready for a shutdown. And I'll go out and make a snowman.
Well, bless your little hearts.
Yeah, it'll be pretty funny because there you go. You go out there and you try to scrape up as much as you can off the grass to make a snowman, and it's gone that afternoon. It's all right. This is supposed to be lingering though for about 6 or 7 days, so that's what kind of scares me.
Yeah.
We can dip down for a little while, but when it starts going 6 and 7 days down here, it's a catastrophe. You know what, KMM? I know all about that putting in 4-wheel drive. You know what? I grew up in Wyoming, so I know all about that 4-wheel drive and that snow stuff. And I had the first snowstorm. Well, you better believe it. You better get ready. We had a snow brush still in my car when it snowed. And I pulled it out and I go, look, I got a snow brush. And at the end of it, you got your eye scraper. Now, y'all know what that is. They didn't know what the heck that was. I pulled it out and they looked over like it had wings. What the heck? She got a brush with the scraper end of it.
Right.
It's going to be well, unanswered prayers, I guess. I don't mind a little bit of snow. I just don't want to be snowed in. I've been there before too. I mean, snowed in.
We haven't been snowed in since I was a kid.
Yeah, I was a kid too. We opened up the door and it was all white. I was like,
drifts were 4 foot high.
Exactly. Or higher.
Yeah.
Yep. They say, oh, the Windy City, Chicago. I got news for you. What Casper, Wyoming has wind worse than Chicago ever. I think I would put a bet that's worse than Chicago.
Wow.
92, 93 mile an hour winds. And you know what's funny is they said, we're getting a hurricane and it's going to be 90 mile an hour. And I thought, oh, for Pete's sake, we used to get those every day. That was a reoccurring thing going on. Well, wow. see, KMM, your winter bad blizzard, storm, cold, everything. Yeah. It's running a little late this year.
Yeah. I mean, I know when my kids were little, we used to get snow on Christmas and Christmas Eve, but we haven't had snow on Christmas or Christmas Eve in a long time.
My temperature right now is 82. Was 82 today. It's supposed to be up to 92 sometime, but then we're gonna get nailed. I mean, it's just gonna drop. The whole floor is gonna drop out on us.
It's 39 here right now.
You know what? I don't even know. I know that it's still short. I still have the air conditioner running, so if that don't tell you anything. Um, so what, Linda? What do you have that in the news other than the lady that was awful and that was awful in New York? Was he a foreigner?
Illegal from Guatemala. Guatemala.
Guatemala.
Guatemala. Yeah.
Okay, there you
He,
go.
he's half from down, and half from Hawaii. Guatemala.
Well, he's from Guatemala. All right.
Anyway,
Oh no, that's how much my phone has left. I thought I was going to say it was 65 degrees, but it's not. It's like 80, 75, 80.
yeah, the um at the Arizona airport, the Skywalk airport in Phoenix, there was a situation. Two people got shot. There were five people involved, and they all knew each other. So, they didn't say if they were legal, illegal, or whatever. They didn't say. They just said that they all knew each other. I think that they're doing that on purpose in the news, not to get Americans riled up and know who's doing the crime. We know who's doing it.
We know exactly who's doing it. In fact, wasn't there some kind of shooting over in Boston at the mall this for Christmas Eve?
That, that I didn't hear. But then there was a guy that came to the airport with guns because they said there was an active shooter at the airport.
And he was the active one?
No, he came there with guns to pass out to people to get the active shooter down.
Oh my word.
So they wrestled him down. Two incidences at the Arizona airport this
Hello, Donna. It's so good to see
Hi,
you.
Donna.
Okay, look, see, the last time it snowed, my brother Bill was playing football and broke his ribs, and he was visiting from Idaho. See, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, they don't know about the snow here. They think it's beautiful if they can look out the window, but they want to go play in it. And
Right.
our ground is so warm that it turns to ice real quick, you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of scary. I know that Donna's up there in that polar vortex weather that's coming up.
Oh, yeah, Donna, we're talking about that great polar vortex that's coming.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. You know, they were talking, they show that. I know. I know. We get to a certain age that we want to give our snow shovels up and go to someplace warm. You know, we want to be snowbirds. But I got to tell you something, Donna. This one's coming all the way down here. In fact, Mexico's going to get, the Yucatan is going to get some snow. I mean, it's coming all the way down. There is no place you can run and hide this time. We're all going to go through it.
Yep.
And they say they're not playing with the weather.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, I know what it was. Remember,
I don't wear glasses.
What is a cyclogenesis? I keep hearing that. The weatherman goes, and we are getting ready to get ourselves into a cyclogenesis. And I'm like, and what? Talk to me in regular language. Is it a rainstorm? Is it a tornado? Is it a hurricane? I don't know.
I would have to say it would probably be how did they say that? Tornadic weather?
Wind or something, just like the polar vortex is bringing wind and
right.
Wind, snow.
Right.
It's crazy thing. You got to be smarter than the weather people, understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's for sure.
But the Americans are smart enough to figure it out. I'm telling you right now, doggone it, I'm still mad about that. We're smart enough to figure out the weather.
That's crazy, KMM. I saw you put that up there earlier. That is crazy. That would be so eerie. It's like you're living in London or something.
You know, that's what we've been having here, where you walk outside and you can't cut the fog. It's right in front of you. It's a craziest thing. It does make you feel like you're in London. And we've been getting that here.
Wow.
It doesn't last too long. It's early in the morning. and then it's gone by mid morning. But yeah, we've been getting that here too.
Hey, that would make me creeped out too. I hate fog. I That to me is the scariest. I remember um my ex and I were driving to Florida, and our friends decided to, come over and say goodbye, and they kept us up all night, and they knowing we were leaving first thing in the morning because we had to
Hmm.
drop the kids off. And so he wanted to sleep first. No, he wanted to drive first, and he told me to sleep.
Hmm.
Where did we get at dark at 9 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night? The mountains. And I came around a corner, and I was only driving for about 40 minutes. I came around a corner, and it was just, I couldn't even see the windshield wipers.
Wow.
And it's like, oh no, 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 no. So I pulled over and I woke him up, and I'm like, sorry, I'm not driving in this.
No, no, that's dangerous weather.
Yeah, I wouldn't drive in it because back then it was just either a guardrail or nothing.
Yep.
And if you went over, you were gonna die. Period. You were falling off a cliff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, no, I want to make it home to my babies because they were babies then. Literally. My
Well,
youngest
and
was
you
9
should,
months old.
they have in a lot of places. I don't know about y'all, but I know when I've lived up in one, they have a fence. They have a gate, snow gate, and if it gets too bad down there, they just shut the gate and you can't go on. You can't go on that highway. They close you off.
Well, I mean, I'm talking this was 1987.
Yeah, that I mean that's how long ago it was. Why
Oh,
haven't they always done that to you? Closed it off. They say, well, the gates are up. You're not going through.
well, they close our big Mackinac Bridge off too. Or they have a thing to go across the bridge that if you're too afraid to drive, you can get somebody to drive your car with you in it across the bridge.
Ain't that
And then they'll drive another car back the other way, and they have that service for people
that's
that are
crazy?
yeah, yeah, it is.
Crazy. It's just better to stay at home. I'm gonna
Mm,
stay at home, and I got me some firewood, and I'm gonna crank up the fireplace because you know how I've been waiting for some cold weather anyway.
right.
It's right up my alley. I've been waiting to wear a sweater. I'm
Have you KMM? That's a cool bridge.
I'm looking forward to some cold weather. So with all the fussing and fighting and wars going on and people shooting people in the malls and people setting people on fire in home, that lady was homeless, wasn't she?
I don't know. They
She was
still
like,
haven't identified her.
well, they probably don't know who she was, but I think she was asleep on the street, right? That he just went
No,
over.
she was in a subway. She was
Yeah.
in the subway car.
Oh, she was in the car
She was
asleep.
in the subway car.
So she wasn't asleep. I thought she was asleep. I heard she was asleep.
I I don't know. I didn't hear that much of the story. I just knew that she was in the subway car, and he just nonchalantly walked up to her and started her clothes on fire.
See, this is what we got here, y'all. And when we do the roundup, like I said, Clyde's going to apply to be a bus driver. I
Yeah.
told him, I said, I wouldn't mind being a bus driver as long as I knew there was a gate behind, there was like a cage gate behind me, and they couldn't get to me. And I'd drive them down there, but I'm not going to not when they're all open and they can get to me while I'm driving. I
Right.
want,
Right.
sorry.
Mhm.
That down here they've got some man gave up a whole bunch of acres to put them. Well, you know what I mean too. I'd be packing,
No,
but
yeah.
they're gonna do a holding area, and then they'll just ship them across. So we're trying to get rid of these people, and Elon Musk is trying to bring them in. from other countries. We need the brighter, the smarter and brighter. It makes me so mad. I'm doggone mad. I'm so mad.
Right.
You know what? We're not stupid. There aren't stupid people in America. We're not stupid. We've got some very, very intelligent people in America. Why don't you
Right.
go look for them before you start
Right.
farming it to other countries?
Do
You
you know
know,
how
and
hard it is? Do you know how hard it is for a kid graduating out of college to get a job because everybody wants experience? Now,
right,
that's crazy. They just got out of college.
right, right. That's what they want. That's what they've always looked for. They
I
want
mean,
to.
Lucy, she's in that, she's put in for HR positions and stuff like that. And they all want experience. They all want experience. And it's like, well, she's in college for it. How's she ever going to get experience if nobody hires her?
Well, you're not. You got to. You have to. Once you get out, you got to get a job in that field to be able to get the experience. I
But if
know.
nobody's hiring because they want 3, 4, 5 years experience, there's no entry level experience. It's no entry level, and it's crazy.
You know what? It is
You
crazy.
spend all that money and you can't even get a damn job.
Well, and how about this, y'all? Let's talk about this. We have our is this what you're looking for? We have all those guys are coming over here from other countries already, and they're going to school in
Mhm.
our colleges and in getting degrees in our colleges, and we're sending, and then they're going back home, right? And I
Mhm.
looked it up, and a lot of the more prestige colleges, if you come from another country, you can get a grant and you don't have to pay anything. All right, well, you know what? Maybe they ought to do that for some of our American people because there's not that we have dummies here. It's just that college is so doggone high, a lot of people can't go.
Well, she did. She did get grants to go to school, but she still owes, I think she said between 22 and 25,000 dollars. That's a big debt
Well,
for,
yeah.
22. That's a big debt,
Well,
you know.
you know,
Plus on top of that, she needed a car, so she's got a car now. And it's a newer car because she needs it for the kids to be safe.
I think there are people that are college material that can't go because they can't afford it. And
Mhm.
then I think that there are people that are um, college, going to a technical college where they learn a trade. We got those kind of people too. And I don't think that they need to charge so high to our people. It's a
No,
scam. It's a scam. And a
it
lot of
is.
people, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people come out of college with a diploma that can't get a job in the field that they got their diploma in, and they're working another job and having to pay the money back. Now, that ain't right either.
No.
So, I think that we need to look at our education system and decide exactly what we need to do instead of looking into another country to bring other people here. That's my own personal opinion.
Right.
Um, I want to make America great, but I want to. There's got to be other ways of making it great,
Right.
you
Right.
know. And if the taxpayers, if you took care of the taxpayers, because like I said, these fences were already paid for. These walls were already paid for, y'all. We hadn't paid for, and
Right.
instead now we're going to auction them off for $5 for each
Right.
panel. You know
Yeah.
how much, you know how much money you could get? These weigh tons.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How much you could get for scrap metal, just the weight on them alone, and you pay $5 for them?
Oh yeah.
I think everybody should just go buy themselves a panel, and we need to. We'll just enclose Biden in the White House with these with
Right.
wall, and we'll give him a monopoly board and say, "Go ahead, just stay in there. We'll just give you
Right.
inch
Right.
in."
Right.
So I guess what I want to say instead of sitting here just keep complaining about it is, y'all, we need to say prayers on what Trump surrounds himself with,
Yeah.
because I've said it once. If I haven't said it once, I've said it a dozen times that Trump is mocking and walking the same path as King David did in a lot of different ways. Okay, in
Right.
a lot of different ways. And King David had a problem with who he had around him too, that got him in trouble. We don't need that. We don't need that. We need to make America great again. We need to get, I wonder, do you ever think how many Americans right now are frustrated and mad and disillusioned, and they're at their wits end?
That's me.
Well, so I think it's up to our government. That's what we're paying for, right? Right? When you pay your money, oh, you know what, y'all? I got something I didn't know till the other day. Wait till I tell you this. Wait till I tell you this. Kimberly Guilfoyle that is going out with Don Jr. or was going out with Don Jr. Now they broke up, and now Don Jr. is going out with the model. But they said that was because Kimberly Guilfoyle, uh, Don Jr. told her to not dress so provocatively, and she did anyway. So I don't know what was going on there. But do you know who Kimberly Guilfoyle's first husband was? Gavin Newsom. Facts. That's kind of scary, y'all. I mean, like I said, you need to watch who you
She was in deep
in
with
your
Trump too.
circle. Hmm?
She was in deep with Trump too.
Yeah. So see, that's what I said. We prayed to get him in there. Yep, we prayed to get him in
Yep.
there. We prayed for everything to happen. Now we need to pray that he gets the right people surrounding him,
Right. Right.
so that we can really get some stuff done and work to help the American people out, not to help to make the rich richer.
Right.
That was not my idea.
Yeah. That's
You
for
know,
sure.
I'm all about everybody having a good time and everything, but I'm all about
Right.
everybody helping everybody out here too. You know,
Well, I mean, the consolation is we only have 21 days
countdown
till
21 days.
he can get in there and start moving and shaking things.
And he's been
And
moving and
we just gotta, well, yeah, but I mean, he can go in there and make some new laws that got changed.
okay, so in prayer order, pray the next couple nights that we have a speaker of the house. All right.
Right, right,
Speaker of the house, that, because you know what? Those Republicans made me doggone mad when they were going through all that speaker debacle, and they couldn't decide who they wanted, and one was saying this and one was saying that, and all that crap was going on, and there was no speaker. Okay, say a prayer that that doesn't happen again, because we don't need that nonsense. That makes us just look stupid.
right,
Okay,
right,
and then, because y'all know that if we don't have a speaker of the house, Trump can't be inaugurated. So don't you know they got that up their sleeve? They already know how they can delay it by
right,
doing that kind of crap. And
right,
we don't need all of these roadblocks. We need
right,
to get this show on the road, and we need good people to, you know, I voted for who I wanted to. I'm not going to say that I'm sad that I voted for who I wanted to, but I will call an ace an ace.
right,
And I was an Elon fan until he got up and told everybody how dumb Americans were.
right, right.
Then I was mad.
Yeah,
Elon, you may think you're real smart, and you may be, but you know what? We got some smart people here. Let's put Whitney Webb in there somewhere. How about that? Have you ever heard her? She's
mm-mm.
smart too. She's real smart. In fact, she's the one talking about right now that they're trying to implement the scanning of retinas, have a retinal scan so you can get on the internet. You're not scanning my retina here, y'all. It ain't happening. If I have to send smoke signals to get to y'all so you can see what's going on with me, then that's
Right.
what I'm going to do because I'm not scanning
Right.
my retina to get on the internet.
Right.
Or you're not going to put a chip in my hand and you ain't going to put one in my forehead. There you go.
Right.
My Pete
Exactly.
said my,
Exactly.
and that's why me and Linda's, this is what our channel's all about, is calling an ace an ace.
That's right.
You know, I love my party, but just say, just pray that he gets surrounded by the right people and they do the right thing. I like RFK, and I think he's going to make a difference. Although he did kind of balk because he had to have a McDonald's.
Right.
He didn't want a McDonald's. He said, "I'm not eating that McDonald's." Trump made him eat it.
Right. And we may call an ace unconventionally,
Mm-hmm.
but it comes from the bottom of our hearts, and everything we speak the truth.
Right, right,
And we also give you our opinions,
right.
of course.
Whether it's right or wrong, and you have a different one, that's fine
And if
too.
we're wrong, we will admit it. I
See,
know I
that's
will. And I
I
know
will.
you
And
will.
that's the beauty of America. We have the right to have our own opinion.
Right.
And we're allowed to say now, just because everybody don't agree with you doesn't mean that they're wrong.
Right.
It's not worth fighting about. But I'm just going to tell you this. I'm not too happy with some of the people that I see going in different positions, and I'm going to be watching them real close.
Right. Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I
Well,
want
ladies and gentlemen,
I
what?
want your money. I want the American people to have a nice life, and I want your tax-paying money to go to something important.
Right.
I want it back in your pocket. That's what I'm
Time,
saying.
it's time to put on the fasten your seatbelt sign. Put your trays in the upright position as we cruise to a higher altitude and see if
And
we can get out of this polar vortex that's coming.
right. We couldn't even land because we have a polar vortex and all kinds of stuff going on. There wasn't a safe place for us to land.
Right. Right.
We're going to hit a little bit of turbulence.
You too, Royal Apple. And as always, make sure you guys hit the like on the way out. We love you.
We love
Have
you.
a safe New Year's.
Yep. You
Have
have
a happy New Year. And we will see you next week.
Yep. You have a very happy new year. We love y'all. And we will see you after the new year.
Thanks for joining us.
Good night, y'all.
Good night. Happy New Year.